Hello, everyone, and welcome to our virtual celebration. This week we are honoring Mother's Day, and in doing so we have Shay Waldrop in the house with Lee Culture, our musical director. We also have Laura DiDonato as our practitioner in service, so please settle in and make yourself comfortable and get ready. I also want to let you know, before we begin, that if you live in the San Diego County area, mark your calendars for Friday, May 21st, as we are having a concert with Lee Coulter and his full band here at the Hilltop Center. You are welcome to bring a picnic dinner or something to drink and just settle in and enjoy. It'll be great to be together with friends of our community.
When the rain is blowing in your face and the whole world is on your case, I can offer you a warm embrace to make you feel my love. When the evening shadows and the stars appear, there is no one there to dry your tears, I could hold you for a million years to make you feel my love. I know you haven't made your mind up yet, but I would never do you wrong. From the moment that we met, no doubt in my mind where you belong. I'd go hungry, I'd go black and blue, and I'd go crawling down the avenue. No, there's nothing that I wouldn't do to make you feel my love. The storms are raging on the rolling sea and on the highway of regret. The winds of change are throwing wild and free. You ain't seen nothing like me yet. I can make you happy, make your dreams come true. Nothing that I wouldn't do. Go to the ends of the earth for you to make you feel my love, to make you feel my love.
The clouds are burning away. Isn't that nice? Good morning, everyone. Look at all the loving souls this morning. Peekaboo. Welcome to Hilltop Spiritual Center. Welcome. Thank you for coming. We are a loving center. We offer so many things online and in person. Go ahead and look online for all the prayers that are offered. treatments, yoga, meditations, music. Wow, music. Our director.
Thank you.
Woo! And of course, our inspiring wisdom from Reverend Dr. Guy. Woo! Yes. Thank you. All right, let's move into that place in the center of our heart where there is peace. Let's now take a deep breath. I am receptive to life. I now let positive creativity flow through me in all that I say, all that I do, and all that I think. I choose to live in the positive. No worries, no fears, not necessary. Waste of time. I now invite that beautiful heart center, the space of the soul where the divine guides me and loves me forever and ever. And now let's celebrate together through mindfulness, gratefulness, and joy. And so it is. Our quote this morning is by Shakti Gawain. Every moment of your life is infinitely creative, and the universe is endlessly bountiful. Just put forth a clear enough request, and everything your heart desires must come to you. And now we're going to move into a 3-minute meditation. Let's take this beautiful, loving moment to relax into a comfortable place and posture. Moving our intention on our breathing, slowly and deeply, positive in and negative out. While enjoying 3 deep breaths, allowing our eyes to gently close. Releasing any old ideas that do not serve our higher purpose to make room for amazing new possibilities. Staying in this present moment, notice how we are all connected to this new day, to this life, to all living things. Knowing our breath is actually spirit moving through us. Let's breathe into that sacred place in our hearts, allowing our hearts to expand. Envision our hearts embracing all people and open to all positive manifestations. Enjoy these quiet moments of sacred stillness as we breathe, letting all limiting or negative thought dissipate. Now allowing our souls to open to the natural miracle of sunrise, daily, continuously renewing. From now on, allowing our thoughts and actions to come from our heart center, knowing whatever we contemplate on manifests in the physical world. We now focus on our higher power and listen to the guidance of Spirit. Vision your new goals of today as if they were already manifest. In the words of Rumi, what you seek is seeking you. Our hope now rises like the sun to a new level of understanding. As we embody the truth of who we are, loving, giving, and healthy, happy souls, full of possibilities already present within us. As we draw our attention back to our breathing and increase our ability to be fully present, taking 3 deep, loving breaths, and trusting that all of our needs are gratefully met in this time of renewal. Knowing we are loved, and now releasing to Spirit, we are grateful, joyful, mindful, and so it is.
Stardust and forces of attraction, that's all we are. Particles of matter that don't matter in time. Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday. Good to see everybody's faces. Half of the faces. Well, they say the eyes are the window to the soul, so it's good to see your souls, I should say. Stardust and forces of attraction, that's all we are. Particles of matter that don't matter in time. But of all the places in this space I could want to be, your particles of matter keep running into mine. Worlds colliding, you're by my side. From galaxy to galaxy, you're next to me. We could ponder the meaning, 'cause that's what people do. But I don't need our meaning, I mean, as long as I'm with you. Stardust and forces of attraction, that's all there is. Chaos and randomness and probability. But of all the places in this space you could want to see, it's your particles of matter that matter to me. Worlds colliding, you're by my side. From galaxy to galaxy, and you're next to me. We could ponder the meaning, 'cause that's what people do. But I don't need our meaning, I mean, as long as I'm here with you. Stardust and forces of attraction, that's all we are. Thank you. Thank you.
One of the many delightful aspects of May is the traditions that are centered around mothers and the celebrating of mother in all forms. The traditions go back into the recesses of our early psyche. The Romans had days to celebrate. The Greeks had days to celebrate. The Chinese had days to celebrate. Indigenous cultures celebrate the great mother image itself and how she is incarnated into the very fabric of every woman. In our own country, Our traditions harken back really into the time right around the Civil War and thereafter. And it was created by women who were being mothers. I'm thinking in terms of people like Anne Reeves Jarvis and Julia Ward. You know, they did things like started groups where they taught young women the skills of being mothers. Anne Reeves Jarvis used to have days that were called Mother's Friendship Days. And there she would gather soldiers from the Union Army and the Confederate Army to come together in the act of reconciliation. And Julia Ward was a strong abolitionist, but she was also an advocate for world peace. And she called on all mothers to join in a union for world peace. So that's the kind of power that was there. It's that moral imperative of life and the sacredness of life that is woven into our psyche, and it really is expressed in the very art of mothering itself. You know, I know for myself, it's not so much about talking about the feminine face of God, but it's something more powerful. It's how we begin to look at the earth as our very mother. And it's not so much that the earth acts like a mother. In fact, all mothers replicate the earth herself in all that she is and all that she does. The earth is a container, a receptacle of all that comes to it. It's also a nurturer. The main imperative of all mothers and Mother Earth is the supporting of life. But she's also that energy that can receive all things and compost those things that have served their purpose so that they can be recycled back into the very fabric of life itself. And when we think about that at a personal level, you know, what is it that you want to give to the earth, to compost, to let go? What breaks your heart? What fills you with anxiety or fear? What has plagued you or created sorrow? Can you give it to Gaia? Can you give it to the earth? Let her receive it. Let her be the container of it, composting it and creating new possibilities. This month, you know, in inaugurating really with the honoring of the mothers and the honoring of the earth itself, we're talking about the path of receptivity. And you know, it's a wonderful word to consider, to be receptive, receptivity, because it means to receive new ideas or new understandings of things. It means to receive, which is to be a container or a receptacle of things. You know, it's kind of like this. It's kind of like there are radio waves that are out there all the time. And, you know, it's like, as I say, cooperators are standing by, and the universe, as it always speaks to us, is inviting us to listen, to take heed. But it's so easy to get distracted, is it not? You know, I've been thinking these last 2 weeks with just deep compassion and just sorrow, the suffering that's been going on in India because of the virus. You know, and one of the things that is just an image that's burned into my psyche are the images of the charnel fields, the places where they go and they bring the dead, because in the Hindu tradition, like the Muslim tradition, the body must be cared for and dealt with within a very brief period of time. And in Hinduism, they cremate the bodies, and so you have this experience of what's happening there with so many people. But you know what it reminds me of also is that there's a tradition in Hinduism, it's also in Islam, and it's in other cultures as well, that when the body is being carried to the charnel grounds or to the burial grounds, there's a certain point where they stop and they turn the body, because the body is no longer facing the past, but it is now headed into a new future. And that's so like us. As we're in this time of renewal, it's also important for us to ask, what is it that it is time for us to let go? Maybe it's time to grieve. Maybe it's time to surrender that which impedes us, to no longer look to the past, but to let our attention, our focus, our consciousness move to what's emerging in front of us. It's letting go of what might have been, or could have been, or should have been, and resting on the promise of transformation, of life, of that arc in the universe that is always bending towards our good. I'm reminded of two teachings that come from the Hebrew Bible in the book of Genesis, and I love those myths and legends and stories of the great patriarchs and matriarchs of that time. And I hadn't thought about this until last week, how, the story of Abraham and the story of Lot's wife are almost two sides of the same story. In Abraham, we have a person who is called forth from Ur the Chaldeans, which is present-day Iraq. But as it said, he is called forth by his God from the land of his fathers, from the land of his ancestors, from the land of his past, into a future, a promise that is given to him. And the promise is this: you will be guided, you will be changed, and you will be a blessing. But then there's Lot's wife. Y'all remember the story of the burning of Sodom and Gomorrah, and Lot and his family having to escape. And as they're escaping the city, one of the angels says to them, "Do not look back." And we don't know why Lot's wife turned to face back. Perhaps she was just grieving so deeply what she was leaving behind: her life, her friends, her home, her possessions. Or perhaps she was mesmerized by the destruction of what was happening. In either case, she couldn't turn her back on the past. And as the story says, she is calcified. She's stuck. She becomes a pillar of salt. Of course, this is not history. This is a metaphor. But isn't that true for us too? When we're so caught in looking at something from the past, we get stuck. It's like we become calcified and literally unable to move. Or we can choose the promise of Abraham, which is really the promise that is made to each and every person who is on the spiritual path. You will be guided, you will be changed, and you will be a blessing. And, I want to share a dream that I had this week. I won't get into the whole dream or what was going on, but, I've been working on this stuff too, and struggling on some things. And in this dream, there was a part of the dream where I was going to a wedding, and I was having to go to my car and get into my car. And a guy comes up to me and he says, "You want to take the Yogananda to the freeway?" I love that. Take the Yogananda to the freeway, to the way that's free, to the open thing. How does one get there? Through the Yogananda. The Yogananda is what? It's the practice of divine bliss by unifying yoga with that infinite beingness, that infinite intelligenceness. And I thought about that, and so I thought, first of all, let me look at what that means to go to yoga, right? And there's this wonderful teacheress that was offered by a mythical person by the name of Patanjali, and he wrote this discourse on yoga. And what he says is this: now the teaching of yoga is to still the pattering of consciousness. then pure awareness can abide in its very nature. Otherwise, awareness takes itself to be the patterns of consciousness. What essentially he's saying is this, is, where our attention is what we become. And the practice of yoga is to still the mind. And when the mind is still, then that divine awareness, that true self, can open into that place of bliss, of unity, of connection. Because we have been conditioned to believe that we are our mind, that we are our ego, that we are our body. But if we can practice that sense of stillness, then that which is paying attention, that which is loving awareness, can come through. Mystics knew this. Merton knew this. Teresa of Avila knew this. Francis of Assisi knew this. Paramahansa Yogananda knew this. Every mystic from every tradition kind of knows this. I think Franz Kafka says it best, where he says, you don't need to leave your room. Remain sitting at your table and listen. Don't even listen. Simply wait. Don't even wait. Be quiet, still, and solitary. The world will freely offer itself to you. It has no choice. It will roll in ecstasy at your feet. Sometimes if you're like me, we need to kind of jumpstart this, right? Because we need to, because it's so easy for us, like Lot's wife. We're enamored with something in the past that we just can't break the patterning of the mind. Ernest Holmes, the founder of our particular teaching, offers this advice. He says this: for those who have always dwelt on the limited thoughts, a very good practice is to dwell upon the magnitude of the universe. This is my practice. It is my practice to go outside and just look into the starry world. Have you ever done that? It just fills you with the sense of amazement, of awe, of wonder. And all of a sudden we realize we're getting out of our conditioned thinking. The patterning of our consciousness is stilled, and there's this deep awareness happens. It can happen in other ways as well. Whatever enlarges us, expands us, and brings us to amazement and wonder and awe. But looking into the heavens, as he says, the magnitude of this universe, ever expanding, whatever that is. The other thing that I did in this dream is I went back to Autobiography of a Yogi by Paramahansa Yogananda. And it's been a long time since I've read the book, and quite honestly, I didn't finish it. But I thought, maybe it's time to get back into this book and look at it. And I was fascinated because when I opened the book from where I left off, there was this wonderful page of things that Yogananda was writing about. And he was talking about when he was spending time with his guru, Sri Yugeshwar. And he offered these 3 pieces of what I think are sage advice. The first: follow any simple diet which proves suited to one's constitution. And then he says, a master, one who has realized themselves as the omnipresent soul, not the body or ego, perceives in all beings a striking similarity. And then finally, be comfortable within your own purse. So I think that these things are much bigger than just the basis, right? I mean, it's not just about eating a diet, but it says, to find a simple diet that suits the constitution of ourself. The first thing we have to do then is we have to take the time to know what our constitution is, to be curious about ourselves, to have a sense of self-understanding, what we need, what we desire, what's important, what's not, what our constitution is, and then nurture ourselves in that way. A good way to say that, I think, is this, is to choose our life, to not wish it was something else or regret that it wasn't that, but to be present in this moment, in this place, to have a sense of understanding, of curiosity, of love about who we are, and then nurture that. And then the second exercise is this. It's to see the divine in everything and everyone. No exceptions. To do that practice and to realize if we are seeing someone, if we are seeing something, and we are not seeing the divine in there, then it's an issue of perception, not of reality. Now, that doesn't mean that evil doesn't exist or that bad things don't happen or, things are not. We live in a universe that's relatively random. But each living being is a reflection, is an emanation of divine awareness. And even though it may have lost its way, we can pray for them. A simple prayer. May that person be filled with loving kindness. May they be well. May they be peaceful and at ease. And may they be happy. And then finally what he suggests is this, is to be comfortable within our purse. I love how Emerson says this, where he says, genius stands on limitation. And it doesn't mean that we should be limited, but what it means is we should work with what we have and not put our life on hold or extend ourselves or put ourselves in bondage. There's that great mystical adage that when one is trusted in small things, they are given great things. So again, it's about choosing the life that we're living in this moment and realizing in this moment we are being called forth. We're being lured into a greater experience of who we are. We're like Abraham on that spiritual path. You will be guided if you say yes. I promise you. And in order to get from here to there, the thing that you are moving towards, you will be changed so that you become the person that experiences the desire that is living within you as an awareness that's wanting to find expression. And you will be a blessing because, the bottom line is when we live our authentic life, we set the world on fire. We are a blessing to all that is around us. We've met these people, right? And so we are these people. We allow ourselves to be guided, letting go of what needs to be let go, following where that next indicated step is taking us, allowing ourselves to give to the mother that which needs to be composted, and to receive from the mother that which gives us nourishment and life. And in doing so, we become a blessing. I think if we practice these three things, we can become a sound vessel, a container for that which is pouring forth into the world. And we begin to make progress. And sometimes people ask, how do I know I'm on the right path? How do I know that this is working? How do I know that this is the endeavors that I should do? And again, what I would offer is the wisdom of Dr. Ernest Holmes. If every day things are a little better, a little happier, a little more harmonious, a little more health-giving and joyous, if each day we are expressing more life, we are going in the right direction. And so, dear friends, let us engage in the right direction. Let us allow ourselves to be supported by the mother. Let us celebrate the energy of mothers. And to all those who are mothers, I offer you a deep gratitude and a blessing. And again, each and every one of us will be guided, we will be changed, and we will be a blessing.
You can tell by her walk now she don't play games. She don't take no numbers, she's just taking names. Well, you best be careful if you try your luck. Oh yeah, because she'll blow your mind, but she'll lose your brain. Now she don't need no lover to pay no electric bill, no. Don't worry about her business, she gon' seal that deal. If you're too scared to approach her, I know how you feel. Ah yeah. If you're too scared to approach her, then I guess I will. She's got that old time swagger with that new school touch. It's not if you love her, it's just how much. She don't want no bad boy or boy toy either, just some respect for a boss señorita. Don't give her no line, man, she's heard it all before. Show her something true, or she'll show you the door. You gotta treat her like a person, not another score. Oh yeah, she'll leave your pride in pieces and your jaw on the floor. She's got that old time swagger with that new school touch. It's not if you love her, it's just how much. She don't want no bad boy or boy toy either, just some respect for a boss señorita. Ooh, I am. If you wanted how I did, well, I guess you say I failed. But I thank my lucky stars I live to tell the tale. Because I live and I learn, you've got to swallow your pride. Ah yeah, because every woman has got a boss inside. She's got that old time swagger with that new school touch. It's not if you love her, it's just how much. She don't want no bad boy or boy toy either, just some respect for a boss señorita. Ooh, I am. Well, you best be careful if you try your luck. Yeah. Because she'll blow your mind, and she don't give up.
Thank you again for being part of our virtual community. I really want to enroll you as a team player in our virtual world. And you can do this several ways. One, turn us on to your friends. Like us, share us on Facebook and whatever other social media you do. Email the celebration to a friend who might want to see it. And then also, your continual and generous support is so wonderful. It's so graciously received as we are able to continue to provide for you the spiritual tools that we offer, and together we are making the world a better place. And so, dear friends, for those whom you love and those whom you receive love from, I wish you many, many, many blessings.